Hi! Here I am with a new RGRP episode. Inspired by one of my previous work, I decided to sculpt a tree from a tiny pixels. I tried to draw a birch tree. Pixel art trees are my weak point, I think, but I am happy with the result. I will actually show you my process speeded up. I started with some general shape of the trunk. The size of the canvas is 80 pixel width and 128 pixels height. I picked a distinctive color and used bucket tool to fill this shape with it. Then I started to pre-polish the shape. After this, it is time to draw some branches. I found this cool technique to draw these diagonal lines to imitate a long triangle and then rotate only part of it to imitate bends. The rotate tool in a sprite won't give me perfect results, so I have to amend the shape. Drawing trees is harder than a typical 16 by 16. The cause of this is simply the size. Here I am working with a bigger canvas and it's harder to polish every detail in such a big drawing. The shape of this reminds me of RPG Maker XP default tree asset. I probably subconsciously drew a lot of inspiration from it. There is also what I call the Fibonacci rule in trees. I won't explain everything, but the main point of this is you cannot model or draw branches anyhow. Even the branches grow in order. Using this principle, you will achieve more natural and good looking results than smashing random shapes in random positions. You have also considered what type of tree you are making. Every tree grows different. Some of them can have long and thin branches in early growing stage, some of them not. The best what you can do is to look for some examples or read about the tree you are making. After the general shape of trunk and branches, it is time to, you guess it, even small branches on branches. I also tried to apply the Fibonacci rule to this. The results are decent to my mind. They could be better, but nothing is perfect, so let's go on. Now I notice that trees are like little fractals. The most annoying thing of drawing trees is capturing the 3D shape of it on a 2D plane. Every offshoot have its own growing direction and capturing it can train our three-dimensional thinking, or it can result with a big headache. Also, you have to think where you will be putting leaves. There is a lot of forward thinking in such a simple thing like tree. Picking colors for the bark was also the hard part, but I will say about it more later. After I decided that I have some good palette, I started the outline part. Doing outline in pixel art can show us imperfections of our general shape. During making the outline, I refined the shape and connections between branches to enhance them visually. Also, as you can see in some places, I wasn't drawing the outline. The cause of this is for not increasing thickness of some of the branches. Outline is a great thing, it can help distinct harder and thicker places in our art, but sometimes it is not what you want. Doing this wide-side outline will present the shape of a branch, but also to make it appear thinner. The fresh tree offshoots are kinda slender in real life. Coloring this birch tree was kinda difficult. You see, I'm not that good at visualizing materials. Bark has its own unique texture that you have to capture if you want to make a good looking pixel tree. The birch tree is kinda different than any others, because it is mainly white with these black spots. If you ever approach the birch tree in real life, you know that you can easily peel fragments of the bark. It is like paper. I wanted to capture all of this in this drawing. I think I picked good colors. The main one is not as white as snow, but it has some kind of a brown tint. I used the same colors to represent shading of further branches and shape of the main trunk. I don't like to limit myself, but I prefer to reuse some of the things that I have. I think the more colors you are using, the more destructive the final thing can be. There are exceptions to this, of course, but it is mainly true. However, if you are using too few colors, you can achieve something like a retro style, and I am not also a big fan of that. The Legend of Zelda, the Minish Cap, has great colors, and it is one of my inspirations. I have different style of drawing, of course. I can say that I am more specialized to draw items than the nature or other things that game map should have. My textures are blurry in some spots and sharp in others. I am trying always to have some dirty pixels in my textures. In my opinion, it is a great style. Of course, everything in moderation. The dithering is also a cool technique, but I am not using it too much. probably because of the fact that I am using the full spectrum of colors. I should say something about the devlog. You know, couple months ago I announced that I would be working on a pirate theme game. I had a lot of things to do in these months and I didn't have much time doing anything related to YouTube and game making. I'm still at the planning stage, but I will start the work soon. Recent Unity drama made me have to rethink about the engine or the language itself that I want to use. My main programming language is C#, but I am now considering other options to write game. There are many of them like Godot, Monogame or Bevy, but I do not know them as well as I knew Unity. The main concept of the game is finished in my head, but I do not want to spoil you too much. I still have an engineer degree to achieve and I need to focus on that. The devlog series will start as soon as the new year will come probably. The game itself will have the pirate and exploration/management theme. I was always a big fan of a pixel piracy made by Quadro Delta and the Darkest Dungeon made by Red Hook Studios. What will happen if you combine both? Maybe I told you too much. Everything can change, but I'm pretty sure it will be 2.5D game. I'm in love with this style recently. Back to the birch tree. As you can see, I shaded the dark spots on the bark. I connected them with these lines. They represent the cracks like in the real birch tree. At this point the tree is looking like a zebra. Doing this size of a pixel art is really hard. I was drawing around 2 hours. It is easier to draw than talk about what you are drawing and what techniques you are using. You can see now that I picked this low alpha black color to darken some parts of a tree. You see, it is something opposite to the hue shift technique which everyone in pixel art community is talking about, but it can give you stunning results sometimes. Remember, art is not a Lego instruction. You can do everything you want to do and achieve result you want. However, I found this technique is useful in only few cases, so have that in mind. Now it is time to work on the outline. In my opinion, the outline can sometimes give more color representation to the thing you are drawing than the fill color itself. Doing the outline for the lighter drawings is harder. You have to balance colors really nice. Using only the black color will make your drawings appear more like a cartoon prop. Since I am not drawing in the cartoonish style, I need to avoid that. I used really bright color for the outline. Sometimes bright outline will make your object looking like a light source or something that can reflect light. Trees aren't working as mirrors, so I really wanted to pick a good looking color. I really like how the outline colors are changing from the brown to the more purple tone. Working with outline is probably my favorite part of drawing a pixel art. Using only a few pixels you can give your drawing different appearance. If I draw something that has some sort of a magical or mystical powers, I can use the double outline. If I want to give this birch tree some supernatural properties, I can draw a second outline using full white color. It will look like it comes from some kind of enchanted woodlands. Now starting with the worst part, leaves. I have to admire that I didn't apply myself to drawing them. First of all, this is not how birch leaves are looking. I drew them in blobs, but in real life they are more like flexible vines with many leaves attached to them. The color is also incorrect. I should have used more yellowish than the greenish tone. I will probably fix this issue later and record video about it. For now it is what it is. The birch trees also appear as dying one. The leaves that I drew are giving the tree old look. As I said, I will redraw all the leaves in the future. I hope you enjoyed the video. Even if you are not a fan of watching sped up painting, I hope you find my talking interesting. I will try my best to produce more videos in future. If you like the video or the drawing itself, I encourage you to use the like button. Tell me in the comments what you like and see you next time. Bye!